You're listening to Greater Good Radio Hawaii. Today's guest is Ng Pack, President and CEO of Milici Valenti Ng Pack. What are some key things or tips or lessons that Milici or Valenti had taught you before you started running the business?
Well, Ray Milici, his key thing was relationships. He said, relationships are all that matters. That this is a service business. You make friends with your clients, and the results are important, but they also forgive a lot of mistakes. And they let you take risks in doing certain things too. Frank Valenti wore a suit, jacket and tie to work every day of his life, and he lived in Hawaii. He was a former sportscaster for KGMB. And he was a well-known, highly respected man, but he had the highest integrity too, where he always just do the right thing. In fact, we'd have financial issues and so on. He would always bend over backwards and do it in favor of the clients. We had a dictate from our parent company who told us about cash flow management to stretch out payments to the vendors. So what would happen was a client would pay us money on, say, the 1st of January, and the vendor would do work for us in December. Our parent company says, no, for cash flow, no, you don't have to pay in 30 days, stretch it out to 60 days, because that's the norm. You know, keep the money in our account rather than theirs. Frank Valenti says, there is no way I'm going to do that. If we have the money, we're paid, we are paying the vendors too, because they are more in need of cash than we are. I just remember the biggest fight happened because he disagreed with the corporate mandate to take advantage of cash flow and stretch out these small vendors. Ultimately, they forced it on him, but I remember he just went to bat. It was an integrity issue. We have the money, we'll pay them. Nothing about cash flow and making a few extra dollars. And relationships mattered. You know, to this day, what we've done with the media is we have made sure that we have taken care of them, all the other vendors, whenever we can. And they have supported us in good times and bad.
You told us a little bit story about Mr. Valenti and, having integrity being most of the important thing for him. What has been one of the biggest challenges for you that you had to always keep integrity in mind to solve that problem, to solve a problem?
Well, luckily for me, I guess working at Milici Valenti for so long, and the way he ran it, he protected us from that. There were almost never any issues of integrity. The only issues, again, we had was the fights he had with corporate in terms of trying to keep their policies, doing certain things their way, and just doing things the right way, whether it was small town, type doing the right thing. But one thing he did, he took care of us. He protected us from having to make hard decisions. He had certain policies written in that were hard and fast, that we followed the rules, we did everything by the book. So there wasn't any bending of the rules.
What, for you personally, have you had to work on the most in order to become who you are today?
Probably public speaking. Again, I'm one of those who at the beginning of my career would be freezing or stammering or stuttering if I was asked to get up in front of a room full of people, not even a large room, say a group of 10, 15 people, and have to talk about something. You'd start getting nervous and want to just sit down. But again, it's all practice. And Frank Valenti, what he would do was he'd force us, the young AEs, once every week or two to stand up. No choice about it. You have to stand up. You can't sit and give your talk. Stand up and present to the rest of the group the basics of your account, what's going on, and update to everyone. And it takes a while for you to start getting comfortable in front of a room. And again, most important thing is knowing your material. And even for those who are the most, most introverted, if you can memorize something and you can just read most of it, not read it, but remember most of it, you're well prepared. Preparation is the other thing. If you're unprepared and you can wing it, hey, you're great. If you're unprepared and you can't wing it, you're going to be looking like a fool out there. And that's what we do when we do have some presentations for new business or some client presentations. We always try to rehearse everything out, make sure everyone's comfortable with what they say, so they seem confident.
Thanks for joining us today on Greater Good Radio. For more information or a transcript of today's show, please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. This is your host, Evan Leong and Carrie Leong, saying please join us next time for another episode of Greater Good Radio, Hawaii.